He doesn't go for follow me. That is shocking. It really is. There might be a chance I can pull this game back, depending on how much damage this does. Wow, it one-shots him. It just one-shots him. So he is not running any defense on the Flutter Mane. That's best case scenario. Wow. What is up, everybody? Back with some Scarlet Violet Regulation F VGC. Got a really cool team today that I actually put together myself. There's actually a team around Raging Bolt, Electric Terrain, and a bunch of priority spam. Just a team that I wanted to make, probably the best team I've made so far, to get really high on the ranked Master Ball tier in-game ladder. And there's also a team I'm actually considering bringing to like the online competition. There's gonna be like an online competition. You can actually like earn I think championship points for like actual competitions like regionals or that type of thing. I'm not 100% sure how that's actually going to work, but there's a team that I'm actually considering trying to bring to that. And I think signups are going to be going live. I'm not sure when they're live, but I think like the next week or two. So you can actually sign up for that, I think, online through like one of the websites, and you can actually participate in that during the in the game, like in the game as like an in-game event. So depending on seeing this, that might already happened. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the exact date when that's actually going to happen. I have to go look at it some more, but that's one thing I'm maybe considering to do with this team. I'm going to run through this team real quick. I have a pokepaste for this team down in the comments down below, or the description down below, not the comments. And I have the rental go up in the corner if you guys want to use this team. This is probably the most competitive, probably the best team I've created so far. If you guys want a really sweaty team that's going to get you some really easy wins, not really too much gimmicky bullshit here. I think the most gimmicky thing is like probably the Pincurchin. But even then, everything on this team is like top tier meta type threat right now, or just really underrated and kind of being slept on, like the Iron Bundle, which is still really, really good that nobody's really using it for whatever reason, which I'll kind of talk about. But I think like the main like meme type thing on this team is maybe the Pincurchin, but it's just here to kind of do one job, and then it does it really, really well. So I'm gonna break this team down. I'll throw a timestamp somewhere on screen right now. If you guys want to skip the explanation for this team, just hop right into the battles. Not really too much with this team that I really built around specifically. I wanted to use Raging Bolt. I always wanted to build around Terrain, and I kind of just threw Terrain, Raging Bolt, and like another Terrain Abuser together with some other really good stuff like priority type spam and that type of thing. I got the Chimpow on this team, just a really standard set, 252 speed attack, jolly nature with the focus sash. I also have the Ice Spinner on here instead of the Icicle Crash, just mainly to deal with other types of terrain, mainly grassy terrain and psychic terrain, because even most of the time when you're going against opposing type of terrain, you don't really want to bring the Pincurchin sometimes. So being able to just get rid of the terrain with Ice Spinner is still really, really good. You just kind of have to look out with using it on this team alongside the electric terrain with like the Pincurchin if you want to get rid of your own terrain. But the one thing with this team is you don't really require terrain to make it really work. It's just like an added like benefit to this team. It allows you to outspeed some stuff and hit a little bit harder with a few different moves, but it's not really like required for this team to actually work. Even like a lot of the terrain abusers, like the Raging Bolt or the Iron Bundle, you don't really need the terrain, so it's not that big of a deal. Got the Dragonite, just a really standard set, 252 Adamant, Terra Normal. You guys know the deal with Dragonite Choice Band. You can't get flinched, can't get intimidated. Beside this Chimpow, it's like an absolute truck. Not really too much else to explain. I got the Aqua Tail there for stuff like Hisui and Arcanine. If there's a few other things that it hits for super effective damage. I ran into a random Colossal on the ladder for whatever reason. I actually ended up one-shotting it with Aqua Tail, which they did not expect at all. So at least the random shit like that can hit for 4 times effective damage or just really solid amount of damage alongside the Chimpow. So it's kind of there for coverage, but mainly just me clicking either like Wing Attack or E-Speed most of the time. It's kind of what it's going to be coming down to. You got the Entei on this team. It's another like top tier like priority spam mon. You pair this thing alongside the Chimpow, or even like on the same squad as the Chimpow and the Dragonite, and the overwhelming amount of priority that you have just kind of overwhelms your opponent and they can't really do much. There's actually a Solvest variant. I'm actually running Jolly on this Entei instead of Adamant, just mainly because the one thing I was actually experiencing was it was actually usually a speed tie between opposing Entei if it comes down to like an extreme speed war. So being that you're a Jolly nature, Entei is also pretty common right now. It allows you to actually win the speed tie war versus a lot of the other Enteis currently on the ladder, because all the other ones actually run Adamant nature. So being Jolly actually allows you to outspeed those ones and go first and be able to get a solid amount of damage off. The damage you get from running Jolly instead of Adamant really isn't that much difference, so being able to outrun stuff like that won me a few games going against like opposing Entei's and that type of thing. So then it's got coverage, Stomping Tantrum for like Keytrain or like other ground types like Gouging Fire, it's pretty good. And then Iron Head for this coverage. I got the Pincurchin on this team, probably the most out of the ordinary thing on this team. It's mainly just get up terrain. It is to get up terrain and just stick around as much as possible and just be annoying as possible. One thing people do not actually know about Pincurchin is actually this thing gets acupressure. If you guys know what acupressure does, it's actually a random stat boosting move you can actually use on your ally that gives a random stat boost, including accuracy and evasion. So if you can actually pair this with the Iron Bundle or even like the Raging Bolt most of the time, you can actually give evasion or even like accuracy boosts. And when you have Hydro Pump, which is 80% accurate with a +2 accuracy boost, if you happen to get that, it's pretty much 100% accurate Hydro Pumps, which is kind of crazy. You also get a bunch of other stat boosts. I think the only other stat boost that you don't really want is maybe like an attack boost. All the other random stat boosts though benefit you in some type of way, which is kind of cool. So if the Pincurchin does not get targeted, you're able to just sit there and acupressure over and over if you really want to on either the Raging Bolt, Iron Bundle, or even like any of the other mons on this team if you really want to. It works with anything on this team. So you got the Scald there. The Scald's there just mainly to spam. If you're allowed to sit there and spam Scald, usually if you can spam it like 2 turns in a row, you have like a 60% chance to burn. If you can get a burn on something that's really crucial, on like a Scald burn, like a Chien-Pao, or like an Iron Hands, or some like really hefty physical attacker, like a Rillaboom, or even like an Urshifu, it pretty much just nullifies them and allows you to deal with them really easier, and pretty much just allows you to get a free kill on a lot of those huge threats that are just really huge physical threats that just do a ton of damage. So that's why the Scalds are just merely to spam and try to fish for burns. It's not going to do that much damage, but just there to kind of fish for burns. And I got the Electro Web kind of just for some speed control. Just mainly there, if you're running against like really fast Tailwind teams, it's good for those type of teams. That's kind of why it's on here. It's also boosted by Electric Terrain. It's not going to do that much damage because it's a Pincurchin, but like you do get a little bit of a boost from it from Electric Terrain. And then you also have the Electric Terrain on here, just like the manual move for Electric Terrain. Mainly because there's a few other like manual terrain setters or like other terrains, there's like Rillaboom or like Indeedee that are going to try to constantly be screwing around with your terrain. So being able to just go like predict like them switching in, getting rid of your terrain, and somehow actually predicting that sometimes and just throwing your terrain right back up on the switch in is kind of a game changer, and they don't really know what to do, and it puts your opponent in such a bad spot. Especially if there's some other things that like to try to get rid of terrain, like opposing Chien-Pao with like Ice Spinner, or there's a few other things too. Whimsicott's kind of running Misty Terrain right now as well, once in a while, so you can kind of counter that type of thing if you really want to. It's kind of just there mainly to keep your terrain on the field, and that's the main job of the Pincurchin. That's why it has the terrain extender. I think it's 252 HP and like a shit ton of defense and SpDef investment. It's still not really that bulky, but it's kind of the best it's going to get. Got the Iron Bundle on this team with the Terra Ghost to dodge the fighting type moves. I got Encore on there to Encore something in to like fake out or protect or like a boosting move. You got the Hydro Pump, you got the Freeze Dry there, which is actually 4 times effective on stuff that's being played right now. Stuff like Walking Wake, it's a guaranteed one-shot on. It's 4 times effective on Ogerpon Wellspring. It's a huge, pretty much one-shots pretty much any build of that. I think the only way they actually maybe survive is if they Terra and get the defense boost, but even then you're still doing about 50% most of the time to Ogerpon. And you got the Protect there to kind of just mainly for like a defensive move. You also got the Life Orb. With the Electric Terrain, you actually get a speed boost. So you get the speed boost plus the Life Orb boost, you're incredibly fast and you hit incredibly hard. As long as you land all your Hydro Pumps, you're pretty much killing pretty much everything, as long as it isn't fully resisted or they have like no screens or anything to like reduce damage. And then you have the Raging Bolt on this team with the Terra Grass. The Terra Grass is mainly so you can't get put to sleep, and more of a defensive Terra on this thing. That's kind of the main thing it really is, because I had a lot of people that were trying to... I mean, if you have the terrain up, you don't have to really worry about sleep, but mainly just for like a defensive Terra. I think Terra Grass is really good, and this team kind of wanted a Grass type. It has the Water and the Fire type, and I wanted to have some way to at least get the Grass typing on this team, and being able to tack that onto the Raging Bolt, I think makes the team really, really good. Got the Thunderclap. Thunderclap's going to be a thing you're going to be clicking like the majority of the time. It's a spammable special type priority move that you're going to be using alongside the electric terrain, or even without the electric terrain, just throwing it on like as the fourth mon alongside Chien-Pao, Dragonite, or like Entei works really, really well. Rising Voltage gets double power under electric terrain, so it goes from base 70 up to 140. Hits like an absolute truck if they do not resist or they are not immune to it. It's usually a 1 KO on everything. And then you got the Dragon Pulse there just for consistent damage. Good into stuff like Arclodon and a few of the other dragon types. I'm also running a really bulky spread on this, I think with a decent amount of special attack. I think 250 something HP. I'm not sure. I think it's like I think it's for 244 HP I think I have on this thing. And I have like a really solid amount of like defense and special defense to kind of just like maximize the bulk while also hitting really, really hard with this thing. Also, if your enemy team actually has Sun, you can actually get a free +1 boost to your special attack, which is kind of cool. And I just threw the Zap Blade on there just to hit it a lot harder. Didn't really need any other item. I originally had a few different items on this thing in the testing phase of this team. I tested this team for a long time already. I've had this team in the works for about a week and a half, 2 weeks almost. And I've been testing the absolute shit out of this team. So a lot of different variants, a lot of different things I've been trying with the team. I think this is probably the best overall team I've created with it. So kind of a long explanation for this, but we're going to hop in some games. If you guys want to use it, rental code up in the corner. Let me know what you guys think of the team and how you guys do. And if you guys want a really good, solid ranked team to hop onto the ranked ladder, I think this is a really solid team. Let me know how you guys do. Let's hop in some games. Alright, we're here with another game. Hopefully my opponent doesn't randomly rage quit on me after I make a crazy play on them. Holy shit, is that annoying. My opponent is Milo, Scissor, kind of interesting. Scrafty, Volcarona, Rillaboom, and Fluttermane. Kind of an interesting team, actually. Really interesting. I think what I actually do here is I'm actually going to lead Chien-Pao Entei. Chien-Pao Entei is actually really good versus them. It forces the Scissor to go Terra. I can't get intimidated. I guess I can, by the Scrafty, but like he's risking a burn versus me and he can't really do that much. I think worst case scenario is maybe if he has Milotic, it's probably the worst case scenario, I guess, but I can bring shit for the Milo, which is what I'm going to do here. I think Dragonite's pretty good here. I'll bring Dragonite. I think I bring the Raging Bolt here is pretty good. Raging Bolt with Terra Grass, as long as the Volcarona is gone, looks pretty good versus him. As long as he doesn't rage quit. Hopefully he does not rage quit on me, because I am really sick of people rage quitting on me. I really am. I don't know about you guys, but like, at least for me, like when I record, I only have like a certain amount of time to record, especially like towards the start of the week. And then like having to go against games, having everybody fucking rage quit on me, and like having a lot of those games not even be usable. It's just really frustrating. It's a waste of my time. I might include a few of them into the videos, but like there's a lot more that you guys don't even see. So he has the Fluttermane with a booster energy. I don't know what he even got boosted, but fine by me. He actually brings Milo too, so that sucks. Kind of bad. Does he go Terra Fairy here though? Like, does he actually Terra Fairy on me? I think I just Sucker Punch on this turn. I Sucker Punch. I could go for a Terra Normal here. Expecting the Scald, but if I'm Salt Vested, so I should be able to live a Scald. I think I'm just going to double into the Fluttermane here. He's running not much bulky, barely. That might actually just be a low roll, actually. That might actually just be a low roll, and that's why he lived. Judging by that damage, I don't know, unless he just has barely enough defense investment or like EVs to barely live. If it's one of those calcs that actually he just calced for to invest the right amount into. Goes for Skull, that's fine. I live that because I have an EV. I don't know, as long as the Entei can get like another kill or like some really solid damage or burn something, I'm fine with it going down here. He has the Scissor. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna protect the Chien-Pao here, and I'm just gonna go for Sacred Fire. He's forced to go for Terra here. I'm assuming he's probably either Terra Water or like Terra Dragon. If he's Terra Dragon though, he makes himself weak to Raging Bolt. I just don't want to use my Terra because I think Terra Grass on the Raging Bolt is probably the best case here. Probably Terra Dragon. He's Terra Water. That's probably the second most common one. At least if I do see Scissor, that's what they've been running. If I can get a burn though, like the burn, I'll probably make him pretty much irrelevant here if I can burn him. Goes for Bullet Punch. That's perfect. Still does a shit ton of damage, and I get the burn. Not even bad. The Entei putting in its worth in this match here. It goes down, that's fine. It's gonna be really close to whether a Sucker Punch actually kills from that range. It really is. I'm gonna go into the Raging Bolt here. I don't know if I'm gonna Terra yet because I don't want to make myself weak to bug moves. But at the same time, he might have Ice Beam, so I'm not 100% sure what I actually do here. I could go for Double Protect, but that's a 50-50 play, whether I get the Protect or not, and I get no value if it fails. So I think I just Sucker Punch the Scissor here. I should be able to outspeed him, because I'm a faster priority. And then I guess I can go for Thunderclap here, I can go for Rising Voltage. I think I can go for Rising Voltage. He might try to go for like Coil or Recover on this turn, predicting a Thunderclap, so... Actually takes out the Scissor too. That was actually going to probably be a damage roll from that range because that was really close. So around pretty much at flat 50%. That was just got a high roll there. He has a Luring Voice. What does that do? Okay, that does a fuck ton of damage. I don't know what it's supposed to do though. Rising Voltage is a 2-hit KO on him. He's leftovers. I think the good thing here is though is I have my Chien-Pao still around. I think that's the one good thing here. He has Scrafty. Is it Intimidate, though? It is, okay. Scrafty usually carries Fake Out, so I'm just going to Protect on this turn anyways. I'm going to Terra Grass here. I'm going to Terra Grass. He outspeeds me, so, like... The problem is, though, like, he could go for Recover. So I'm just going to go for Rising Voltage here. I think I can't let him go for Recover. He might predict a Thunderclap. If he doesn't, though, I should be able to live whatever he has. I think the only case is if he has, like, Ice Beam and he makes a 200 IQ play. Just clicks Ice Beam without me knowing. And the Raging Bolt, if it does drop here, I have Dragonite at full health in the back, so... He does have Fake Out. Okay, that's good. Kind of cool seeing Scrafty. I haven't seen much. He actually has Icy Wind. I'm going to live that, though. Lowers my speed, but I don't really care because I have priority. I'm living that easy. Raging Bolt's so fucking good. Raging Bolt. I think Raging Bolt's probably my favorite out of the Paradox. It really is. The more I use it, the more I really just love it. It's great. The stats for the Raging Bolt are like the perfect stats. You could have not have asked for better stat distribution on the Raging Bolt. Probably the one, like one of the best, at least out of all the Paradox, that got the best stat distribution. What I do here, I actually go for, I think, a Sacred Sword here. He can't Terra because he used his Terra already, so at -1, I actually don't know if I actually outspeed him, so I'm just gonna Thunderclap here. He surrenders, okay. I mean, I don't think he really wins there anyways. I think a Thunderclap, depending on his build, probably does like at least 50% to him. Plus his Sacred Sword, it's at -1, so he had maybe a chance to live there. But like, what does he really do? He doesn't know my last Mon either, so... If my last Mon was Dragonite or like Iron Bundle there, I think he would have still lost. I guess Iron Bundle wouldn't have been too bad, but with how much health he would have had at that point, I think I still would have won. Not bad, solid game. I'll see you guys in... I don't know how many games I'll throw into this video without making it incredibly long for you guys, but I'll throw 1 or 2 more games in the video for you guys. Alright, we're here with another game. My opponent actually has a really cool team. He has Murkrow, Charizard. He's running like a Sun team. He's running like a Regulation E team, but like with Cinccino. This is like a copy-paste team you could have put back in like Regulation I guess regulation D, but I guess technically walking wake wasn't allowed on the ranked ladder, but you could still use on the casual ladder. I think what I do here, I actually want to bring electric terrain because the one thing the Lilligant likes to do is just sit and spam sleep powder. So I think I'm actually going to bring electric terrain here. He has no way to get rid of it either. I'm going to bring the Pincurchin on this for this. I'll bring Pincurchin. I don't know what else I want to really do here though. I think I'll bring Bundle. I don't even know if, like, does it at +1 does Bundle. I might actually be faster than the Lilligant with +1 boost, and even in Sun. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he probably has Scarf Charizard on his team too as well. I'm going to bring the Raging Bolt. Looks really good here. And I think I actually bring the AV Entei. I think that's probably my best 4 I can bring here. If I were my opponent, I would lead with Torkoal Lilligant. I think that's what I would lead with. I'd probably bring Charizard and then maybe Walking Wake or Cincino. I don't think he brings Murkrow here at all. Murkrow just doesn't really do much. It's destroyed by a bunch of priority and that's about it. Doesn't really do much. If he brings it though, it'll be good for me. He actually brings Murkrow. That's surprising. The question is here though, like, what does the Cincino actually do? Is this thing like loaded dice with Technician, or is it like Skill Link? I'm not sure. Or it's like a more of a supportive one, because he's going to try to throw up Tailwind here. That's what he's going to really try to do. I think I should just protect the Bundle on this turn and go for Electro Web here. I think that's my play. And I just protect here to see what he wants to do. He might have Rock Blast, but if he goes for a normal type move, I'm Terra Ghost, so I can always try to get a play that way. Taunt. I'm glad I never went for Acupressure. It's fine though, I can get a free. He actually has Tidy Up. Does that get rid of my terrain? Does that get rid of my terrain? It doesn't get rid of my terrain. Okay, so that's fine. I don't care. It's kind of scary though, because now he's at plus. I guess he's at +1 attack, but I don't even know with a Tailwind that if he's actually going to be able to outspeed me here. We'll see if he actually goes for Tailwind. I'm not sure. I can also Encore him into that if I really wanted to here, which I might actually do. We'll see if I actually outspeed him with a Tailwind boost. Because he's neutral and I'm at +1. Oh yeah, he outspeeds. Of course he outspeeds. I should have swapped. out into Raging Bolt. That would have been a million IQ play there. Because now I lost one of my win cons. Pincurchin holding it down though. The Pincurchin's really holding it down here. I have a few options I guess I can do here. I can go into the Entei and go for E-Speed. I can do that here, but I kind of want to take advantage of my terrain. I can get the Rising Voltage off and I get double damage on stuff here. I just go for Electro Web again. I think I just Electro Web here. If he wants to go for Tidy Up, he can, but I just go for Thunderclap. If he attacks, he's dead. If he doesn't, if he switches out, then I get a speed drop on whatever comes in and some chip damage. That's why I have Electro Web on this Pincurchin too, because if you can just start stacking Electro Web and the speed drops on your opponent, pretty soon, especially if you like use Acupressure and you get some good speed boosts or even like some other stat boosts, the Raging Bolt just becomes really bulky with stat boosts like defense or even like speed. And then with the speed drops on your opponent, the Raging Bolt starts actually outspeeding them without having to use priority. And hits so damn hard, especially under terrain. He's going into the Torkoal. You're going to be eating damage, bud. You're eating some damage. Thanks for the boost, too. He gave me a free +1 boost. That's pretty good. Get rid of the Cincino. I'll give this guy props, though. He's using Cincino. I'm really surprised. I have not seen that at all. This might be the first match I've ran into that. See how much Electro Web does. This is terrain boosted. Bam. Look at that damage. I think it just depends on his last 2 mons here. He has Charizard, so the Charizard might actually be Scarfed. He might be Scarfed. I have a few plays I can make here. I can go for Electro Web. Because I think at -1, I think no matter what the Torkoal does, I outspeed it, and I can just go for Rising Voltage here. I think I'm actually going to Acupressure. I'm going to Acupressure on this turn. I'm going to Acupressure the Raging Bolt here, and then I'm going to go for a Rising Voltage. I think the best thing the Charizard can do is go for Dragon Pulse, but he does not kill me from full unless he's Choice Specs. I guess if he's Terra Dragon, maybe if he's Terra Dragon, he can one-shot me. But apart from that, I don't think he's going to do anything. He's Stellar. Okay, maybe with a Stellar Terra Boost. Maybe with a +1 Stellar Terra Boost he can. This is going to be really close, I don't know. Oh, he has Scorching Sands. Does that actually kill me, though? It almost does. That's crazy. Torkoal's gone, though. That's a +1 Rising Voltage with 140 power. Under terrain, that's crazy. Get out of here. Acupressure. What boost do I get? Spit F. That's great. Spit F. I couldn't have asked for a better boost. I guess speed would have been a little bit better, but I don't know what Murkrow does. What does Murkrow even do to me? You ain't doing shit to me, bud. I mean, I think I really want to go for Acupressure again, but like the Raging Bolt is so low on health at this point, I think I just really want damage. So I'm just going to go for damage here, and I'm going to Thunderclap. We'll see if he's Choice Scarfed. If he's Choice Scarfed, he goes for Tailwind, thinking he has no turns. Unless this thing has no attacking moves, maybe that's why. I'm assuming he's probably Scarf Charizard, because that's usually the most common one if you're running it under Sun. I think this Murkrow doesn't even have any attacking moves, that's why he's going for Tailwind. He's probably a full... I miss. He's probably a full, like, support Murkrow. He probably doesn't even have any attacking moves. We'll see if he surrenders right here, because otherwise it's probably the case. I'll just go for Rising Voltage. I don't even... At +2 to special defense, he can't kill me. He's debating whether he should surrender or not. I don't know. I don't think he has any attacking moves. Maybe if he does, he has Foul Play. Or Snarl. Maybe Snarl. But if he'd had that, then why did he go for Tailwind last turn? Pincurchin. Pincurchin really putting in the work this game too. He didn't even target down the Pincurchin at all this match. Just sat here and did whatever it wanted. It's kind of the one thing with this Pincurchin, like a lot of the people that like to run Pincurchin, it just becomes really passive. But having the Acupressure on he just surrenders because he has no attacking move. Like having the Acupressure on the Pincurchin allows it so it makes your opponent actually have to target it down. Because otherwise you just keep getting free stat boost over and over if they don't take it as a threat. So it makes your opponent actually trying to go after the Pincurchin, because what a lot of people like to do is they just target down whatever beside the Pincurchin, they just leave it for last. Because they don't think it's that much of a threat. But having the Acupressure there, it makes you get free boost from it, so they have to take it as a threat and try to at least try to go after it. That's what a lot of people don't run that though. They just run like a full, like they usually run like Sucker Punch, or it gives a few other moves too that aren't really the greatest, but like Zing Zap and like 1 or 2 other supportive moves that are okay, but solid showcase. I'll throw one more game into this video for you guys. Alright, we're going against Psy Spam, y'all. It's gonna be fun. Theoretically, though, being that I'm Electric Terrain, I should have a solid match up into this. This team just kind of struggles with Dondozo, though. That's kind of the main problem. He has my opponent has the Iron Crown, Indeedee, Glamora, Fluttermane, Dozo, Tatsugiri. I think it's actually a rental team, if I'm being real. I've seen this team. It might actually be a rental. I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen so many similar teams. There was one really popular rental team that had like everything on this team on it. I don't even know what I bring here. I can bring Pincurchin, but if he leads like Dozo, Tatsugiri, then it's going to be a bit of a problem. I think I bring Pincurchin, I bring the Iron Bundle. I'll bring the Raging Bolt in the back. It just comes down to what I want to bring as my last mon. No, I guess it's either down to Entei or I think down to the Chien-Pao here. I think I'll bring Chien-Pao. I think that's a little bit better here. He might not even bring Flutter Mane. I'm not sure if he will. So he actually leads with terrain. So the good thing about Pincurchin, as a lot of people don't really realize either, is if somebody leads with terrain like this, you are slower. So your terrain actually goes and actually gets rid of the other people's terrain. Because Rillaboom's faster than you, and same with Indeedee. So unless they have like their manual terrain, like they can set up again manually, or like switch out, it forces them to switch, then they can't get their terrain up, and yours is always going to be on the field, guaranteed. So, not bad. Pretty solid start here. I don't even know if the Indeedee switches. I'm assuming he's going to swap out here. Either he goes for Follow Me or he swaps. I think that's what he does here. I'm just going to go for, what was his booster? I forgot what his booster was. I wasn't paying attention, but I'm going to Hydro Pump here. Goes for Follow Me. I'm surprised he's going to stay in. If I were him, I would switch out and try to get rid of my terrain. I missed the Hydro Pump. That's a great start. Oh, that actually just straight up fucking one-shots me. Is that choice? Is that a legit choice? Because that just one-shots me. Oh, that's Life Orbed. I'm assuming he probably has a special attack boost too that I missed. I'm gonna go into Bolt here. It's gonna be a tough game because he got rid of the Iron Bundle on turn 1. I think a Hydro Pump probably would have one-shotted the Indeedee there, so I would have technically probably traded. So that Hydro Pump miss might actually win him the game here. I'm gonna Acupressure on this turn. I think at -1, considering he's not a speed booster, Iron Crown, I should be able to outspeed him here. And I can go for Rising Voltage. If he doesn't follow me again, which he probably will. He has Expanding Force. Wow, that does a lot of damage. Why does that do so much? Get out of here. Get this thing the fuck out of here, please. If I can get an Acupressure off and get like a meaningful stat here, that'd be great. If I can live this. I live on 6. Pincurchin MVP. Pincurchin, holy fuck. Accuracy, that's useless. That doesn't do anything for me. That's probably one of the least useful stats. This is the main downside of Acupressure too. It's completely random. It's a completely random stat, so. He's a speed booster Flutter. I don't know if from this range if a Thunderclap actually kills the Flutter Mane here though. I mean, I'll go for Electro Web again. I don't think the Pincurchin's going to survive another turn. I'm going to Terra Grass here and go for Rising Voltage onto the Flutter Mane if he doesn't protect. I'm assuming he just goes for Follow Me here though. Or he goes for Moonblast into the Raging Bolt slot here. I just wish I would have got a different stat boost. Like anything else apart from like attack or accuracy would have been really good there. He goes for Follow Me, so I'm not going to get any damage off on him. Icy Wind. That's kind of bad. I mean, it doesn't matter that much because I have priority, but if this doesn't kill the Indeedee, it depends on his last mon in the back. It doesn't even kill him. That doesn't even kill for whatever reason. I think the shitty thing here is though, is like if he goes for Follow Me, like I'm kind of locked into having to go after the Indeedee here. I mean, I can go for Sucker Punch, but it's not going to do anything. That's the problem here. If he just clicks Follow Me, I think he just wins the game. I think he just wins based off of the fucking Hydro Pump miss on turn 1, because that would have one-shot the Indeedee. I've had a bunch of other matches too where I go against Indeedee if they're like even like max spit F. I guess I think this guy was actually a booster seed, so that's maybe why he lived. He maybe would have lived actually, but if they're not booster seed, they get one-shotted by Hydro Pump. Being that I'm Life Orb at least. I can go for Ice Spinner. I think it's Sacred Sword here because I want my terrain up still, and then I'll Rising Voltage. He doesn't go for Follow Me. That is shocking. It really is. There might be a chance I can pull this game back, depending on how much damage this does. Wow, it one-shots him. It just one-shots him. So he's not running any defense on the Flutter Mane. That's best case scenario. Wow. What is his last mon? I'm really curious. Oh, Glamora. That's fine. Glamora's fine. That's fine by me. I can Sucker Punch here. I can go for Sucker Punch. I don't know what he really has to one-shot the... I don't know, does a Sludge Bomb kill me from this range? Because I'm at -1 speed. I think I'm forced to just Thunderclap here, actually. See how much a Sucker Punch does? That's a does half damage. So he's attacking on this turn, so I think he's dead. I think, judging that Rising Voltage is that much to a Flutter Mane, like, I think that should kill him. Wow, what a game. What a match. I thought I was going to lose because if that Flutter Mane did not die there and he actually had some defense, or like was running more of a bulky Flutter Mane, he probably would have lived. And like if he would have lived there, I think I would have lost. Especially with that Hydro Pump miss on turn 1. That Indeedee would have been gone way sooner in the match, so that kind of cost me a lot of turns. I don't know why he didn't go for Follow Me there either, though. Yeah, I think he would have had a way better chance of just going for Follow Me. That way he would have been able to redirect possible damage, or if I would have went for Sucker Punch there, he would have got a free turn, so... I don't know. Solid game. I don't know if I'll throw another match in this video. We'll see how it goes. My opponent's running one of the mons I was actually going to build a team. This team actually was originally built around. If you guys don't know, I mean, I guess subscribers don't, but originally when I built this team, instead of the Raging Bolt, I actually was going to try to make Lantern work for this team, alongside like Electric Terrain and the Iron Bundle. But I realized Lantern stats are just so fucking bad that it actually gets one-shotted by, I think, like a booster special attack Flutter Mane Moonblast. Even if you are a max Spit F AV, that is how bad Lantern is. That's why I got rid of it. It's not a good mon. Stats are too bad. Really cool mon itself, but it's being held back by bad stats. My opponent has Lantern, Porygon 2, Trick Room, garbage. Incineroar, Frigoraph, Kingambit, Hydrapple. So he's bringing the damn Frigoraph here. No, 100%, no questions asked. That's what he's gonna bring. I think what I do here is I lead Chien-Pao. Actually, I mean I can lead Dragonite too. Wouldn't be too bad here. I think I lead Chien-Pao, Entei. I think that's a solid lead. I'll bring this in the back, and I think I'll bring the Raging Bolt. I think that's my play. I think maybe if he might actually bring the Lantern, because if he's Terra Fairy, you can actually wall me. I think that's the only like niche that Lantern was going to have, which is what I was going to run to. I was actually going to run like Terra Fairy, or like, I think it was Terra... There was some other Terra too, that wall stuff. But like, it comes down if you want to run Volt Absorb, or like Water Absorb to wall or Shifu, or a Raging Bolt with a Terra. Traced Inner Focus, so I'm so scared. I'm so scared he's gonna trace it. I mean, the only shitty thing here is though, like, both of these mons get Trick Room, so it just comes down to which mon here is gonna actually get Trick Room, and it's gonna actually go for it, so. I'm just gonna go for Ice Spinner. I just double into the Frigoraph here. I think the Frigoraph's the one that's at the Trick Room. I don't think it's gonna be a Porygon, but he might be Terra Fairy. Terra Fairy, that's fine. I think unless if he's not Citrus Berry here, I think he's dead. Because it's an Ice Spinner, Sacred Fire, depending on it, we'll see how much this does. That does a lot of damage. He's not Citrus, you're dead. Goodbye. Good turn 1. Getting rid of the Frigoraph 2 allows it so you're able to spam priority. I think the main check to this team is the Frigoraph, at least with like Armor Tail. You can also sometimes run into, I think, Dazzling. I forgot what the name of it is. There's another Mon. It's not Serena, but I think it's Bruxish. Bruxish that has Dazzling too is like the only other common like priority spam stopper. At least with like an ability-wise type of Mon. But that you can easily play around because typing's way worse. He actually has Lantern. Lantern under Trick Room, y'all. This is the first time I've went against a Lantern in the entirety of the DLC's been out. I have not went against this thing ever, so it's my first game playing against it. I actually went against it a few times in singles. I've seen it on a few singles teams when I was playing some of my singles matches, but not in VGC. What do I do here? Do I Terra Normal on this turn? I think I do. I think I go Terra Normal. And I just go after the Lantern. I think that's what I do here, and I Sucker Punch. Lantern doesn't really get much too. Like, it actually gets Cursed. If you want to set up Cursed, that's like the only best setup move it has. It also gets Amnesia. So I was looking at it, like I said, this team was originally going to have Lantern on it, but then I realized how fucking bad it was. I was like, oh yeah, I'm never going to win with this thing on my team. Why would I use this when Raging Bolt exists and it's like a million trillion times better? Like, that's how much damage that does. That's crazy. Goodbye, get out of here. That's why it sucks. Stats are too bad. If this was Generation 3 or Generation 4, Lantern would be really, really good, though. It was pretty damn good back in the... up until, like, around Gen 6, and that's kind of where it started falling off and getting power crept by everything. It actually paralyzes me, but that doesn't really matter. I think if I can just make this, like, a 1v4 for, like, the Porygon, I can think I could easily win the game. I'm just going to double into the Hydrapple here. I think that's what I do. If he wants to set up a sub, that's fine. I don't care. You might not even have enough health to set up a sub after this, actually. It does a solid amount, not nearly enough, though. It depends what he goes after. He has Fickle Beam. I live that. How do I live? I think that's game. I don't know what he has. I'll go for Sacred Sword on the Porygon here, but like, I think the problem with his team is his team lacks offense. He just got really destroyed on turn 1 too, though. Losing the Frigoraph there really cost him, because I think that was like his main source of offense if it never went down there, especially because he wasted his Terra. Guy just surrenders. He knows he wasn't going to be able to win that. Losing the Frigoraph and getting that out of the way without having to deal with the Armor Tail just opens up so many doors for this team. And you have stuff to play around the Frigoraph. Like, you just do so much damage. Like, the Chimpow Entei lead's probably like one of the best leads into the Frigoraph, especially if you're able to double into it. But they usually, if they're not Citrus Berry, with how much damage Sacred Fire and like Ice Spinner does, if they're not fully defensive with Citrus Berry, then they just drop. So that's one way to get rid of the Frigoraph. But Frigoraph is kind of a problem for this team, same with like Bruxish. Bruxish not so much because it's a lot slower and its typing's kind of bad. But I think the most common like priority spam stop where you're going to really be running into it with this team is probably Frigoraph. There's a few other things too. I've seen Quick Guard on a few stuff and that type of thing, but you can't really prepare for that because it's a lot less common. Let's talk a little bit about this team. I'll kind of just wrapping this video up. If you guys want a really good team to hop onto the ladder and just kind of grind through Master Ball tier, I think this is a really, really good team. I have not used this team in-game and like the in-game ladder yet. I've used it on Showdown. This team actually got me to the highest on Showdown that any team that I've made so far, with the Indigo Disc DLC being dropped, has gotten me to. This team got me up to around about 1500 on the ladder, which no other team that I've made so far has gotten me that high on the ladder. I think the only other one that got me kind of high on the ladder was the one I made around about Superior, but that was really at the start of like the DLC, so a lot of people were kind of just experimenting and that type of thing. I think this is more of a team that's kind of really like a lot better into the meta and that type of thing, like with more meta mons that are just really, really good. Apart from, I guess, like Pink Kirch, it's not really that common, it's more of a meme, but with this team it works really, really well, as you guys probably seen. So rental code up in the corner. I'll have a pokepaste down below. Check out the pokepaste with all the stats and all the EV spreads if you guys want to use this team on Showdown. Like I said, on Showdown, At least when I tested this team about a week and a half ago on Showdown, it got me to around about 1,500, with the highest I've been with any of my teams so far. And that's just because I kind of never had time to play anymore. I kind of got to that point. I was like, okay, well, this team's really good. The changes I made seem to be working. I'll transfer this into the in-game and kind of see how it goes from there. And that's kind of just because I never had more time to play. It maybe could even go higher on the ladder, but that's kind of at least for me because I never had much more time to play on Showdown. I just wanted to play it in-game more, so. But I will be using this team to grind through Master Ball rankings, how it goes. I might actually just update in the description as well how high on the ladder this team maybe even got me, so. There's also like an online tournament that's going to be happening here within the next few weeks that you can actually sign up for online and play through the game, and you can actually go through the game and play it. So considering taking this team to that and actually signing this team up for it after I make a few other like minor changes to this team, maybe like some EV wise and a few moveset wise. I think maybe getting rid of wing attack for aerial ace will be a little bit better for a few more gimmicky teams. There's like a gimmicky team with like Smeargle and Muck that just goes into and spams minimize. So being able to have like an 100% accurate move versus that type of team, I know it's not really that common, but just being able to deal with that would be way better because that's one thing this team really struggles with. But a lot of teams struggle with that team just because it's just luck-based garbage. So I don't know. Really solid team though. Overall, I think it covers everything really, really well. Had a really fun time making the team, and it's been doing really, really good for me. So let me know how you guys do with the team. Let me know some feedback if there's any feedback you guys want me to take into consideration, even though I think it's probably the best it's going to get, at least apart from few little small things. If you guys want to feature this team in any of your videos as well, feel free to just give me some credit in the description or a link, channel link or whatever. Completely fine. And some feedback. Apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you stopping by. I got a bunch more stuff on the future coming up on the channel. I will not be making any more, like, at least for my teams, for VGC teams. I think it's going to be like one of the last teams I make, at least for the next few weeks. I'm going to be focusing on a little bit more on singles teams and just doing a few other things. I think we got new Overwatch season on the way here in like a week or two, same with Apex Legends, so going to be kind of switching my focus to a few other games going forward in the near future. So apart from that, I'm still going to be doing a bunch of stuff over here. I'll be still featuring other teams for sessions and a few other things, so a lot of other stuff you don't want to miss out on. Subscribe, leave a like, share the video. Really appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.